For even the most seasoned hiker, there comes a point on every great mountain trek when you ask yourself this question: can I endure any longer? For me, that came on the 9th day, under the mighty Kongma Pass. The way your most difficult moments can become some of the most beautiful, it's a magical paradox. It's in these peaks and passes that I feel the most alive, where all my worries and concerns melt away, where every sensation and feeling heightens, every noise, flash of light, every bluster of cold and wind amplifies, like you have stirred from a long, long dream. Just one more step, one more. Welcome to the top of the world, my friends. The story begins on a fresh December morning. The new day welcomes us with the smell of gasoline and booming sound of propeller engines. Our destination is the mountain town of Lukla, the gateway to the Khumbu region and a short 25-minute journey away. Lukla Airport has earned legendary status in the mountaineering world, and for good reason. With the landing approach flanked by gorges and sheer mountains on either side and its short runway pitched at a gradient, it's considered one of the most spectacular flights anywhere in the world. Despite having made this journey plenty of times before, I would be lying if I said that I wasn't a little nervous. Hi, I'm Puru. I'm part of the Follow Alice team. I lead our Himalayan excursions, and I'm a mountaineer myself. If you're new to our channel or Follow Alice, we are an adventure travel company offering unforgettable trips to some of the world's most breathtaking destinations. We use YouTube as a platform to inform, support, and inspire our community. In this video, I'm excited to share one of my all-time favorite adventures, the magical, the challenging, well, not just challenging, one of the hardest treks in the world, the Three Passes trek in Nepal. Along the way, I will be sharing my personal experience and expert advice to help you plan a smooth and unforgettable journey of your own. We all clamber out of the aircraft and are met with cool, crisp air and the sight of towering, sun-kissed mountains on every side. Welcoming us in Lukla with a big smile are our Sherpa guides, porters and mountain team. These are the real heroes that make all of this possible in the mountains. Featuring our veteran lead guides Sonam and our assistant guide Pemba, and porters and assistants from all around the Sherpa village. Having lived in this valley for generations and with more than a lifetime of guiding experience between them, we couldn't have hoped for a greater group of guys to lead us and show us their beautiful, beautiful home. Also joining us on this journey are Valerie and Christoph from Austria, two beautiful souls, even better human beings, and dear Follow Alice clients on their first ever trip with us. But first, nothing is more important than breakfast to fuel up for the mountains ahead. And after a quick stop at Hikers Inn, we officially embark on our journey. Today, we will hike 9 kilometers to Fakting, descending slightly to 2,610 meters. Leaving Lukla, the route winds its way through small villages, tea houses and terraced fields. And we cross several suspension bridges spanning the Dudkoshi, a fast-moving glacial river that will accompany us for much of the early sections of the trek. We push on through pines and rhododendron forests with occasional glimpses of the high peaks ahead. Following us through the mountains are the beautiful sounds of the Himalayas. Prayer flags flutter in the breeze and the sound of yak bells and flowing water fills the air. Music for the soul, if you ask me. So we're almost done with day one of our 3 passes and base camp trek. has been very good till now, yeah. I mean, the weather has been good to us. I think the weather should remain good. We're almost at Fakding now. Well, let's have a look at it. After a few hours of steady, comfortable walking, we finally arrive at our tea house in Fakding, a small village nestled along the riverside where we rest for the night. Rise and shine, day 2. Today we will push further north to Namche Bazaar and above the 3000 meter mark. After a light breakfast together, we step out into a fresh morning air and overcast sky. Temperatures are just above freezing at sunrise. As we draw closer and closer to the heart of the Kongma region, the landscape around us gets taller as more and more peaks reveal themselves in the distance. Oh goddamn! Thamseku, 6,600 meters. What a beautiful peak.
This is the Monju. This is the checkpoint here. This mountain is the Kumbila, maybe 6,000 meter high.
Hi guys, we are back. After a few hours, we stop for a quick lunch before passing through the official entrance of the Sagarmatha National Park. We soon arrive at a towering gorge where two fast-moving rivers meet. That's the Hillary Bridge. That's where we're climbing. Above, dangling 125 meters in the air, we catch sight of the Hillary Suspension Bridge, named after Edmund Hillary, who, alongside Tenzing Norgay, became the first to summit Mount Everest in 1953. Once across Hillary Bridge, a final steep ascent to Namche Bazaar begins. Just for context, we have climbed over or around 400 meters in the last less than a kilometer at 3,000 meters. So, you know, we all say that Nepal trekking is very luxurious, but just know that training is very important for here. Yeah, so please do train before anyone decides to join us on the trail. By the early afternoon, we finally reached Namche Bazaar, a cluster of stone buildings built into the slopes of a crest-shaped valley. It's the largest population center that we will encounter outside of Lukla and the last opportunity to stock up on supplies, medicines and emergency trekking gear. We arrived at a tea house and settled down for the afternoon, where we drink tea, eat dinner and warm ourselves besides the stove. Today is our acclimatization day, meaning that we will be spending another night in Namche Bazaar to help our bodies adjust to the thinner air. This is a key part of trekking safely at high altitude. The plan is to do a day excursion to the renowned Hotel Everest View, a remote, luxury hotel situated at a record-breaking 3,880 meters above sea level, before we return back to our tea house by the afternoon. As we pass up out of Namche, we pass school children on the school run and cross Namche's famous market, an old trading hub that is thought to date back to the 17th century. So currently we're at the day 3 of our trek. Today is the acclimatization day. We are going to walk up to the Everest View Hotel for the views, and this is in Namche Bazaar, the market where you can find everything from ramen to veggies to drinks, everything basically. So we'll see you at the Everest View Hotel. For the first time, the thin air is starting to really bite now. This is the most spectacular section of the trek so far. For another hour, we wind a steady path across the mountains, surrounded on all sides by towering, snow-capped peaks. After hiking some 2.5 kilometers and gaining another 400 meters in altitude, we arrive at the Everest View Hotel in time for tea. The story of how this got here is interesting to say the least. The Everest View Hotel is the brainchild of an eccentric Japanese mountaineer that visited in the 1960s, fell in love with Nepal and never left. Completed in 1971, the construction was an incredible challenge, with all materials and fittings transported on foot, with journeys that could stretch on for weeks. It's the highest hotel in the world and the most beautiful coffee spot if I ever had the pleasure to enjoy it.
Yeah, and then this is the Himalayan airport. The Himalayan used this airport to bring some materials for the expedition, and then after the 1950, right? And before then this, and then we have a small airport in the nearby the Everest Base Camp. Before 10 years, we have a pilatus plane came here, but now in Nepal we have no more pilatus.
Yeah, so I'm here with Sonam Sherpa and Pemba Sherpa. Sonam Dai, by the way, is the heart and soul of all of our operations, all of Follow Alice's operations on ground. So, how many times have you been up here to Namche, Samdai?
It's Namche. This is nearby to my birthplace.
Yeah.
I think it's more than 100 times more, because I was in this field since 1996.
Yeah.
We started from the local and then from the assistant guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a cook also.
Oh.
Yeah. There's many times I come here. But
Yeah.
Within the days when I run my own travel agency in Nepal,
Yeah.
then there will be sometimes more than 7 years I have a gap.
Yeah.
And from the last year, I continuously every 2 times.
Yeah. That's nice. Would you ever want to bring like your kids also into the trekking world?
Sure, yeah.
That's pretty nice.
And the kids.
Yeah. As we make our way back to Namche Bazaar, we stop for a well-earned lunch and explore the Sagarmatha National Park Museum before returning to the warmth of our tea houses for the night. For the first morning on a journey, we are met with clear blue skies. The sunshine brings such a vibrancy to the landscape. It's beautiful. So, it's currently 8:40 a.m. We are off to Tenboche from Namche. First views of Everest. It's quite magical. We're often asked, when is the best time to go hiking in the Everest region? Well, the trails are open year-round, so in theory, you can trek at any point of time. However, most people visit during the spring and autumn months. March to May and September to November are considered the safest bets for clear skies, low rainfall, and moderate temperatures. For most trekkers, it's best to avoid the wet summer, monsoon, and the coldest winter months, especially January. Although, just to preface this by saying, I would argue the time between November through February is an excellent time to be in the Himalayan region. Due to the changing weather, it has now come to so that these months are considered much better. As you can see, we are currently in December, a quieter time in the mountains as winter starts to settle in. Still possible to trek, but you'll need to be prepared for colder conditions and unpredictability with flight delays and potential snowstorms that close sections of the trail. You see that village there? That's Forche village. It's also called the Sherpa village. Every single person who stays there is an Everester. Some of the fittest, greatest mountaineers in the world, they belong from there, they still live there. Shortly after leaving Namche, we descend through a beautiful stretch of fir trees and rhododendron forests and stop for lunch. Before we are met with the most difficult challenge of the trek so far, a 450-meter steep ascent to Tengboche to 3,855 meters above sea level. I've climbed like 500 meters in the last kilometer and a half. Pretty steep climbing. Tengboche isn't too far. Tengboche's height is 3,800 meters. Look at that beautiful mountain. See, they say that it looks like a horse saddle at the top. I say it kind of looks like the Sphinx. Oh, long day today. The sun is just so sharp. You can feel it in the skin. You know, even though temperatures are mostly in the negatives, mind you, we're here in December. But the sun is so strong. It's very hard to not feel the heat. We reached Tengboche in the early afternoon. Without doubt, one of the most spectacular villages along the trail. It is dominated by the majestic Tengboche monastery. The monastery is over a century old and has twice risen from ruin. Once after an earthquake and once after a devastating fire. Today, it stands as a powerful testament to Nepali resilience and spirituality. As evening settles in, we bunker down in the warmth of the tea house, sharing a heavy meal and playing cards together into the night. Why did I do that? I don't know. Everybody is really beginning to get into the rhythm of the adventure, and our spirits and the team camaraderie are running high. The day breaks with another gorgeous blue sky morning. We wake up to the sound of temple bells echoing across the mountains and Mount Everest looming over the horizon. Today we make our way to Tengboche from Tengboche. It's not a very hard day, about 600-700 meters of climbing. We will be reaching above 4,000 meters though, so that should be interesting. I'll see you in Tengboche now. We continue our journey through the forests and fields, following the steep banks of Imjakhola tributary. Crossing it, the gorgeous peak of Amadablam dominates the horizon. Soaring at 6,812 meters, it's considered one of the most beautiful mountains of the Himalayas. And speaking from my personal admiration for the mountain, this happens to be the most majestic, beautiful mountain that I have ever come across. As we continue to gain in elevation, the terrain continues evolving, with vegetation becoming sparser, rocks, boulders and shrubs from a more rugged landscape. The views are more sweeping and expansive too. We are really beginning to feel like we're on our way to the top of the world. We've just had lunch. Now we're on our way to Tengboche. It's another 200 meters of climb. It's very beautiful up here, and we're very looking forward to reaching Tengboche finally. And we're getting used to the views, you know, we never do. but it's always there. It's beautiful, beautiful dogs. Just right there. They're friendly as well. And you know what? If you feed them, they'll follow you throughout your trail, throughout your trek, be your friend. They'll make sure that there are no animal attacks happening on you. They'll make sure, if something is about to happen, even in an avalanche, they warn you. So, there's a reason why we say dogs are a man's best friend. Yeah, and this one right here is. And beautiful music. What language is it? Nepali. The glacial water. So we're finally at Dingboche at 4,400 meters. Today was an easy day. Well, still around 800 meters of climbing, but here we are at 4,400 meters, Dingboche. Absolutely beautiful. As the day comes to close, we cozy up in our tea house, reflect on the day, the journey so far, and wonder what will tomorrow bring. We're on our way to Chukung from Dingboche now. Unfortunately, I woke up with a slight headache. Maha, the person behind the camera, also woke up with a slight headache and a bit of nausea. So please remember that no matter how experienced you are, altitude is not a game that you can just play with. Make sure that if you have any of the symptoms of altitude sickness, you talk with your trek guide. They'll be able to assist you with the same. Just take care of your health and make sure to train, because if it could happen to people who basically live their entire lives in the mountains, it could happen to anyone. See you at Chukung. Leaving Dingboche, the section of trail leading to Chukung is marked by a series of wide open wells. Yaks graze on alpine meadows and icy streams crisscross our path. The hike is relatively short today at only 5 kilometers, but extremely scenic and picturesque. Remember that's Mjatse Island Peak, right? Yeah. We had our first summit with Follow Alice in October. Hopefully many more to come. Each day, as we climb higher in elevation, the effects of altitude are growing and creeping in. Heavier steps, shallower breaths, more labored walking. The best way I could describe it to someone who hasn't climbed high is that it feels like trying to walk uphill while breathing through a snorkel with weights strapped to your legs. Some in our group are also beginning to experience light, fleeting headaches, a common symptom of mild altitude sickness. The most important thing is to communicate openly and transparently with your guide. He or she is a professionally trained mountaineer. They're professionally also trained to spot any early signs of altitude-related issues and can help adjust the pace or recommend rest if needed. This ensures that everyone stays safe throughout this climb. Please don't be afraid to speak up. After 2 hours and around 430 meters in altitude gain, we arrive in Chukung.
Hello, welcome to Chukung.
So we're finally at Chukung. It's 4370
Well done.
altitude. I think feeling much better than what we did when started. I'd say both me and Maha. Now, I think acclimatization is very important. Please know that. Also know that it's very important to trust the process of acclimatization. Trust your guides, specifically when they're as experienced as Pemba Sherpa and Sonamdai Sherpa. One of the things I love most about trekking in Nepal is the incredible hospitality and accommodation we experience along the journey. The kindness of the local people is so uplifting and warming, and while you won't find many hotels in the region, the traditional tea houses that you stay in along the way are wonderful. They're basic but cozy and full of character. Rooms typically feature 2 single beds where you will sleep in your sleeping bag. Hot showers are often available at lower altitudes, although this becomes a little more hit or miss above 4,000 meters due to the isolation. Electric plug sockets to charge electronics are found in the communal areas and are available for a small fee, as well as Wi-Fi, although this can be extremely patchy, just for reference. The common areas are the beating heart of any tea house. It's here that you will spend your afternoons and evenings relaxing after your day's hike. In my opinion, it's one of the nicest aspects of trekking in Nepal. Nothing beats winding down, playing cards with new friends, eating dinner and chatting together besides a hot stove. After lunch, we go on an acclimatization hike in preparation for the next day. Chukung felt peaceful, the kind of peace and stillness that comes before a storm. From tomorrow, the trek will go up in gear. We will face our greatest challenge so far, climbing to the summit of Chukungri and beginning the most daunting section of the journey. Excitement and apprehension fills the air. Today is an early morning. A big day lies ahead of us. Our goal is to reach the summit of Chukungri, a dramatic ridgeline peak that rises above the small village of Chukung. A grueling climb to 5,550 meters, but offering one of the most spectacular panoramic views in the entire Khumbu region. We set off early. A dazzling sunshine bathes the mountains in gorgeous morning light. Immediately the trail begins an incline and we slowly snake our way up to the mountainside. I'd be lying if I said this wasn't a struggle. I am kind of digging deep now, but the support and confidence I draw from the team around me is invaluable. Step by step, we push forward together, united by a shared goal. We stood among the giants. The summit point to Chukungri and the highest point we'll ever be on this trek is just there. We're all tired, but we're gonna make it. How was it touching Chukungri?
Really nice.
Really nice,
And
right?
down is much easier than up.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
Up is like one step and two breaths.
I've been so tired. I've been stopping every like 50, 60 meters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just take it slow and
Yeah,
the views are amazing.
Yeah, definitely, I think. Currently at 5,550 meters. I've climbed around 1,000 meters. I think the last bit is a bit steep section with a lot of scramble to do. I mean, you'd see Sherpa people just walking with their bare feet at times. And then we make it. After 3 hours, we take our final step onto the summit of Chukungri. At the summit,
Yeah, congratulations for you.
congratulations to you too. And what a sight. No words or video can describe how beautiful this is. And just like that, the Himalayas etch themselves a little deeper into my memories and soul. We stay there for a while, letting the moments sink in before beginning our cautious descent back to Chukung. I think it's very important to be careful when climbing down such terrains. Better to be safe than sorry. You know, as I said, not the easiest way to navigate, but it is what it is. been the toughest challenge of the trek so far, no doubt. We are all filled with an air of confidence, having overcome our first serious obstacle. But in truth, this is just a warm-up for what lies ahead. The 3 passes, well, might I say the mighty 3 passes, are still waiting. Finally back at Chikung. One of those days where I woke up and I was tired, but well, we made it, all thanks to Pemba Sherpa right here, and then Sonam Dai. I think it's important to realize that not every day you'll feel up to the best that you can possibly do, but hey, you move, right? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning from 4,730 meters. Today we tackle our first and the most challenging of the 3 passes, Kongma. Kongma isn't for everyone. In fact, a majority of trekkers doing this route bypass it. It's an extremely remote, challenging climb over a frozen pass and a detour that adds hours to an already long day. But this is my element. This is what I come here for, and this is what I love to do. The trail wastes no time. Immediately we're climbing, weaving through boulder fields and frozen streams. On the horizon, Ama Dablam rises like a blade in the morning light. Behind us, Island Peak looms large over the landscape. This part of the trail is raw. No villages or tea houses, no yaks, nowhere to stop, just untouched wilderness and silence. I think another 200 meters away, currently at 5,350 meters. I think all of us are very tired. Altitude really gets to you, and even a 50-meter climb seems too much of a work. So just remember that a lot of training in high altitude and acclimatization is the way to go if you want to do this beautiful trek. Altitude is the primary challenge for most people trekking in the Himalayas. It doesn't discriminate based on age or fitness. Altitude sickness can affect anyone, including experienced athletes and mountaineers. It is the leading cause of medical evacuations and the main reason trekkers are forced to cut their journey short. At about 5,000 meters, you're taking in roughly half the oxygen available at sea level. That's why a well-planned acclimatization strategy and the support of a highly skilled, safety-conscious team are very essential. Choosing the right company and tour operator, one with the right knowledge, experience and ethos can make all the difference. Here at Follow Alice, we work with some of the most experienced and safety-focused guides and ground team in Nepal, so you can trek with full confidence and focus on the adventure. Just a few more meters. I draw on every reserve of energy. I'm running on fumes now. Legs are heavy, heart is pounding. And we've done it. We've reached a top of Kongma at 5,535 meters above sea level. A raw, windy saddle between peaks, overlooking a small, frozen, unnamed glacial lake. We don't say much, just stand, wide-eyed and a little delirious, taking it all in. Currently, we're at the top of Kongma Pass. Very tired. The only thing that's keeping us going are the beautiful views that we have. Another 3 hours of down climb and we'll be in the Buche. The way down is steep and slow. A long scramble through scree and ice. Eventually, we dropped down onto the Khumbu Glacier, a shifting, creaking mass of ice and stone. And after nearly 10 hours on the trail, we see it, Labuche, a small collection of grey buildings huddled against the cold. So, one of the toughest days of trekking in my life. We had to take a 2-hour detour because of all the frozen glaciers that we came around. Then congratulations to everyone. Here is the team that helped us. These are our porters, Dil Bhai. Yeah. What's your name, Bhai? Ram Kumar and Dil Bhai. They are the ones who are carrying all of our stuff. And this is Pemba Dai, the Sherpa, without which probably none of us would have made it here. Anyway, catch you tomorrow or late at night. I don't know. Bye-bye. The footsteps of legends into the shadow of Mount Everest. The trail follows the Khumbu Glacier, a labyrinth of moraine, boulders and loose terrain. So we're on our way to Gorakshep from Labuche today, and once we reach Gorakshep in another 2 hours, we'll decide whether or not we should be climbing Kalapathar or going to the base camp, depending on how the weather feels and how it allows us. The skies have turned cloudy again for the first time in days. Overhead, a thick, icy fog hangs over the surrounding mountain peaks.
Okay, this is going to the here Khumbu Glacier.
Okay.
This is the go down here Gorakshep.
Okay.
And go to the up here Kalapathar.
Oh, that's
This
Kalapathar.
is Kalapathar. Kalapathar is very black rock. It's
Yeah.
behind the Kalapathar top.
Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
The Everest Base Camp here. This is not here.
Oh, near the glacier, the snow path. Okay, okay.
Everest Base Camp.
Okay.
Yeah, today is cloudy. This is the Pumari.
Yeah.
So what's the behind Everest?
Oh.
You can see.
Nice.
So today is cloudy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
We're now almost at Gorakshep. Once we reach Gorakshep, we'll decide what to do today. Depending on the weather, we'll either go to the base camp or climb Kalapathar for the sunset. But yeah, there it is. That is Gorakshep. Oh. Shout out to Maha, by the way. It's not very easy to be coming down with a gimbal in your hand which weighs 2 kgs and still be recording. And as you can tell, it's very rocky out here. Gorakshep, a desolate outpost of stone lodges, was in fact in the original launch pad for the legendary 1953 Everest expedition. From here, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay set out to make history. Today's base camp sits higher up, moved closer to the Khumbu icefall. Hello. Hello. Yeah, we're here with the cheetahs of our group. Yeah, just drinking some tea. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Right. Yes. Nice. A warm-up dance. Yeah, so because the weather was so bad, we decided to go to the Everest Base Camp instead of Kalapathar. I mean, just look around, it's snowing, the winds have picked up. But yeah, we're very close to the base camp. We're finally at our final destination, the Everest Base Camp. I think stood around giants, following the path of giants like Sherpa Tenzin and Edmund Hillary. I think it makes you wonder how many people have come since then and the kind of credence that we give to Sherpa Tenzin and Edmund Hillary in our minds. I think it's important for us to remember that the only reason we're here is because of those giants. We trace our steps back to Gorakshep, where we'll spend the night. It also dawns on me that we have just now passed the midway point of our journey. So today we're off from Gorakshep to back to Labuche and Jongla. From Jongla we'll be crossing to Chola Pass. Unfortunately, did not sleep very well last night. Not feeling the best, but at least we've got the beautiful views. Seems like it snowed, and yeah, everything seems very white. So we just had lunch in Labuche and now we're off to Jongla. Look how beautiful it is. I think we're all feeling much better than we did in Gorakshep this morning. So that's always good signs. Hopefully tomorrow we get to cross Chola Pass.
This is the Labuche Peak, and this way go to the Labuche Peak, this behind the Labuche Peak base camp, then go to the summit.
We follow a steady path across wide valleys and cliffside trails. The views and landscapes around us are absolutely spectacular. This is Mother Nature at her finest, with every turn revealing another masterpiece. After a few hours, with the sun now dipped behind the towering mountains, we catch sight of Zongla in the distance. A handful of tea houses sitting on the edge of the world. No running water, signal, and limited electricity. Although at this point a bed is all I need. As I reflect on the journey so far, it is clear that the fatigue and altitude are really beginning to catch up with us. Today was extremely tough, but success is finally within reach. By this time tomorrow, we will be over the hump. One big final push. Today, we will go up against one of the more challenging sections of the Three Passes trek, the mighty Chola Pass, a cumulative elevation gain of over 850 meters. This will lift us over and into the beautiful, mesmerizing Gokyo Valley. The trail from Zongla climbs through a barren alpine valley, flanked by the towering peaks of Cholats and Tabuche. We follow a narrow route through loose stones and old glacier debris, with small streams sometimes cutting across the trail. So we're currently at the crux of Chola Pass. It's like a 200-meter glacier. Since it's glacier and our shoes wouldn't grip as well on the surface, we use micro spikes for the same. They help us grip on the glacier a bit more. So yeah, this is micro spikes. This will possibly save your life if you choose to climb a glacier just like here at Chola Pass. step sinks into the ice and snow, making the climb slow, deliberate, and extremely demanding. The snowfield stretches ahead like a frozen ramp, rising up towards uprise. It is at this point, under the deepest blue sky I have ever seen, that the pressure of 12 days of fatigue, altitude, and raw emotion burst within me. Doubt and struggle at a time and place like this, so far removed from your home and civilization, can be one of the most humbling experiences you will ever face. But it is in overcoming it that you give birth to parts of your character that did not exist before. Out of struggle comes strength and beauty. Chola Pass, 5,420 meters. We did it. Overflowing with joy, we dance at the top of the world together, creating memories that will live within us forever. That afternoon, I slept like a baby, glowing with a deep sense of accomplishment and peace. Life never felt so good. If the past few days were defined by difficulty and endurance, the next stretch is known for its breathtaking beauty. Many consider the Gokyo Valley and its turquoise lakes to be among the most stunning mountain landscapes in the world. We depart Thangnak with the sun blazing overhead. Within an hour, we reach Nazungma Glacier. At 36 kilometers in length, it's the longest glacier in the Himalayas. A landscape unlike any we had seen. Barren, endless, otherworldly, almost moon-like. If you listen carefully, you can even hear it. The creaking, cracking, and distant booms from shifting ice and falling rocks. It was a reminder that nature's scale is both beautiful and terrifying.
We're almost at the top. Should be able to see the lakes right about now. Holy fuck! This has to be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Other than my girlfriend, of course. Just so you guys know, we had to take this shot like thrice because I was just so awestruck looking at this.
We settle into our accommodation for the afternoon, a charming tea house with sweeping views across Tokyo Lake. It's truly stunning. At 4,790 meters, we we are still very high, but somehow it feels gentler, calmer here.
So I'm here with Tashidai. He runs this beautiful eco lodge just by this beautiful Gokyo lake that we have here. First of all, it's an incredible, beautiful place. Do you live here all throughout?
Yes, we do. And thank you for giving me opportunity to share some things about Gokyo here. Well,
Yep.
I'm Tashi Sherpa. I'm from Gokyo, and behind the building, what you see, that's the lodge that I run here. And now it's end of season. It's December, and yeah, it's getting colder every day.
Yeah.
And after December 15, the lake started to freeze completely,
Ah.
and it starts to melt on end of April. So long time ago, my grandparents, even my father and mother, they used to walk on the lake. You know, the ice freezes up to like a meter thickness.
Absolutely incredible. Please, if you do visit Gokyo, if you
Yes.
visit it with Follow Alice, you'll definitely stay here. This is the place that of our
Yes.
choosing. And even if you are just watching this for information purposes, do visit Himalayan Resort. They have incredible food. They have gnocchi as well. Just letting you know that that's very difficult to find even in
yes.
city areas, let alone on 5,000 meters.
After lunch, we set out to climb Gokyo-ri in time for sunset. A 5,357 meter peak perched high above the turquoise shimmering waters of the Gokyo Lakes with spectacular views across Mount Everest, Lhotse, Makalu and others. 4 of the 6 highest peaks on the earth, all in one view. Many say that this is the finest view in the Himalayas, and it's hard to disagree. We make it to the top just in time to watch the sun fall across the mountains. I shed a tear, well, more than a tear at the sight. You know that feeling when time stands still? When the world and worries around you melt away? I wish I could capture this moment forever. We left Gokyo with the sun just beginning to rise, casting long shadows across the mountains. Today we will make the long trek to Thame, 22 kilometers over Renjo Pass, the last of the 3 incredible passes. With the finish line now in sight, we are fueled by the growing promise of success. We are so close now.
And now, at the top of a final and our 3rd pass.
Good job. Good job.
See you in Thame now. Enjoy the views.
We looked back at Gokyo, by now a small patch of glittering blue in the distance, framed by the rugged peaks that had accompanied us for the last few days, knowing we wouldn't see this view again anytime soon. Then we stepped forward, towards home. Once over Renjola, we plunged down through canyons, valleys and across icy streets, never to ascend higher. By the time we approach Thame in the late afternoon, a heavy fog swirls down from the mountains, turning everything a ghostly white. What crazy day. After 22 kilometers of hiking, 900 meters of ascent, 1800 meters of descent, we're finally in Thame, and it is well deserved. It is so beautiful. I don't have any words. I don't think I've ever been so excited to see a bed in my entire life. Our muscles are sore, our feet very tired, but we are swept with an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. We had crossed Renjo, and with it closed another chapter of this incredible 3 passes adventure. The remaining 2 days pass in a bit of a blur. By now, the concoction of euphoria, altitude exposure, and exhaustion has left us quite delirious. We make one final return to stop in Namche Bazaar, which by now feels like a buzzing city. After more than 2 weeks traversing some of the most remote, extreme wilderness on planet Earth, returning to relative civilization feels like stirring from a dream. More than anything, I always find the passage of time most perplexing whenever I return from a big adventure. I could almost swear that a year has passed, expecting to return home and see the seasons have changed and my friends grown a little older. Taking those first steps in Lukla feels like a lifetime ago, and while I have changed in more ways than I can count, the world is just as I left it. It's a beautiful reminder that the greatest journeys aren't just the ones we take, but the ones we make within ourselves. Here's to 16 days of unforgettable new experiences, new friends, and memories that will last a lifetime. Are you up for the adventure? We would love to have you travel with us here at Follow Alice. Every year we take thousands of happy travelers to many of the world's most spectacular trips and destinations. And we're extremely proud of the wonderful feedback that we continue to receive. Feel free to check out our website link in the description to take a peek at our departure dates and Nepal trekking itineraries. And if you require any assistance or have any question, let's get in touch. I have dropped my email address in the description of the video alongside my Instagram. I would love to help you craft your own perfect Himalayan adventure. Finally, if you like this video, please like and subscribe so that we can continue making adventure travel content like this one. This is Puru reporting from Follow Alice and from the entire Nepal team. Safe travels, everyone.